Steve here. I am a British military veteran and the author of the Covert series, where I bring the pressure, precision, and unforgiving edge of covert warfare straight onto the page. My background has taught me what real tension feels like, when decisions must be made in seconds, when trust between people is everything, and when even the slightest hesitation can have serious consequences. That experience shapes not only how I write, but how I teach the craft of military thrillers. For me, the genre works best, and it feels grounded, sharp, and utterly believable, with characters, missions, and consequences that carry genuine weight from the opening line to the final page. That is where this course begins, with realism, pressure, and the human edge that makes military fiction hit hard. Right. So picture this. You are chatting with a mate who has just finished a military thriller, and they rave about how gripping it was, not just because of the explosions or the chases, but the way it seemed to feel real. Ever wondered what exactly sets a military thriller apart from your typical run-of-the-mill action story? Well, as someone who is quite involved in creative writing, especially writing a military thriller, I thought I would have a natter about exactly that. Let us get into what makes the military thriller genre tick, and how, if you are a budding writer, you can make your story authentically tension-packed and compelling to its loyal readers. First up, the core difference lies in the level of authenticity and complexity. Action fiction often thrills with high-octane scenes, car chases, fights, bombs, that sort of thing. Military thrillers do have those elements, but what truly separates them is that every explosive moment or tactical move is backed by intricate strategy and believable military detail. These stories are not just about action, they are about the physics, the thinking, and the stakes behind the action. Intricate strategy. Military thrillers thrive on detailed, plausible operational plans. It is not just about shooting bad guys. It is about the chess game of warfare, planning, logistics, intelligence, surprise tactics. The enemy is not a cardboard cutout, but a legitimate force with strengths and weaknesses. Authentic military detail. This means everything from correct jargon and weapon types to genuine protocols and command structures. Readers who love the genre are often veterans or enthusiasts. They notice inaccuracies immediately, so getting these details right makes the story credible and immersive. Morally complex characters. Unlike the straightforward heroes of some action stories, military thriller characters wrestle with tough ethical dilemmas. They are often working in gray zones, where right and wrong blur. This moral ambiguity brings depth and relatability. High stakes beyond explosions. The stakes in military thrillers often involve national security, the fate of entire battalions, or geopolitical shifts, not just personal survival or revenge. When you are writing a story within this genre, these elements give you plenty to work with to build tension and emotional investment. A well-crafted military thriller taps into the complex realities of conflict and the personal costs on those involved. Plus, readers expect to feel like they are witnessing credible missions with well-reasoned strategies and believable outcomes. Now, for novice writers, this can feel a little intimidating. Military history, tactics, technology, that can be a lot to handle. But here is the thing. You do not need to be a former soldier or intelligence operative to get it right. It is about research, asking the right questions, and paying attention to the details and logical consistency. Do your homework, read military manuals, watch documentaries, or even interviews with veterans. It adds layers to your story and makes you sound credible. Focus on character depth. Give your characters real motivations and moral conflicts. Avoid clichés like the all-good soldier or pure villain. The best military thrillers make you think about the price of war on individual souls, building tension with strategy. Do not rely solely on action scenes. Let the plan unfold logically, with obstacles, surprises, and hard choices. Show the intellectual battle as much as the physical one. Use authentic language. Slip in military jargon naturally. This is not about dumping technical terms, but using them to enhance atmosphere and credibility. If you are keen to sharpen your skills, there are plenty of tools and learning paths available. For example, a military thriller writing course can be a brilliant resource. It is tailored to help you master the nuances of the genre, from plotting to character creation and authentic military detail. Why not enroll now and start writing a course that positions you to thrill your readers with realistic and edge-of-the-seat military adventures? To sum up, what elevates a military thriller above standard action fiction is the marriage of gripping storytelling, military authenticity, and complex characterization. It is not just about spectacle, but about strategy, moral questions, and creating a world that feels raw and convincing. So, when you are setting out to write your next story, especially in the military thriller space, remember these defining features. It is a challenge, sure, but when done right, it is highly rewarding for both writer and reader alike. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Mastering Military Thrillers. I hope it has given you the insight, confidence, and motivation to sharpen your writing and push your story further. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow Books Central so you do not miss future episodes packed with practical advice, writing tactics, and insider knowledge to help you craft gripping military fiction. If you enjoyed the episode and want the companion book to the course, try my book, Mastering the Art of Writing Military Thrillers. You will find it on Amazon and via the Books Central website. And do not forget to come back next week for the next episode, where we will continue building the skills you need to write with authenticity, tension, and impact. Until then, stay focused, keep writing, and I will see you on the next one.